First and foremost, I would like to welcome the Apple Senior Marketing Team to this presentation. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rebecca and I am the new lead for the Marketing Innovation Team for the Apple Watch Edition. Today, I will be presenting on this beauty, the Apple Watch Edition, and the marketing presentation that my team has put together on how we're best going to implement the rollout of the Apple Watch Edition from the pre-rollout to the 1-year marker. So, let's get started. The goal for this presentation is to highlight where the company stands today by looking at Apple today, analyzing what the breakdown is of our current strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are. Next, I'm going to be laying out the objectives and goals. What do we want to accomplish with the release of the Apple Watch Edition? What are our benchmarks for the goals that we can look at throughout the year? Next, I'm going to be identifying key components to making the marketing behind this product the best it possibly can be to make sure this launch is just as great as every other product launch we have had in Apple's history. Lastly, I'm going to be describing the who's, the what's, and the wins for implementing this marketing strategy. So, why not start the presentation with singing our praises by looking at Apple today? Apple today is at an amazing place. We are a company doing things that are above and beyond what I would assume was Steve Jobs' dreams. And I hope to continue to make this launch just as amazing as where Apple is today. A key component of Apple today are our products. These products, which many people and you especially probably know of, are the Mac, the iPod, and the iPad. Again, Apple's products are what have catapulted us to being such a successful company. One of the products you see here that I have not spoken about would, of course, be the wonderful iPhone. Now, the reason I want to focus on the product portion being the iPhone for Apple today is one reasoning being that the last launch that Apple had was for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. This is a great way for us to look at how we can compare and where we can start at from our most recent launch, where we can look to be as we continue with another amazing launch, such with the Apple Watch Edition. Some numbers to make you understand just how wonderful the iPhone 6 launch was. That we sold in Q1 of 2015 74.5 million units of the iPhone. Putting that in perspective, that is 1% of the Earth's population of 7.3 billion. Taking that to another level, that is meaning that 34,097 iPhones were purchased every hour per hour for the whole entire quarter. Breaking that number down even more, that means that 19% of that 74.5 million were Android converters. That's amazing. That has been part of the reason that, as TechCrunch reports, Apple, for the first time since 2011, has surpassed Samsung with selling smartphones. Let's keep that going. Let's now take that into consideration when we are looking at the iPhone growth from its first launch of the 3 in June 29, 2007 to today. We have sold 700 million iPhones. Wow. Now, to compare that to our industry, the industry is growing at a 26% rate. We're growing double that, 49% Again, above and beyond the benchmarkers. Now, the most important number I think to take away from this regarding the iPhone is that we are now the #1 selling smartphone in the world. Crazy, amazing. Next, I want to take that into combining iPhone with our other products that I mentioned and everything else that Apple is able to utilize from products, and look at that. In 2014, Apple reported $42.1 billion in revenue, and take that now to a net profit of $8.5 billion. Again, a crazy number that is hard to believe Apple is able to accomplish as one company. The next area of Apple today that I think is extremely important that we would not be able to reach the number such as 8.5 billion without is our reach. Apple's reach is meaning in the regard of the different layers that people can look at our products, purchase our products, and once they purchase it, that they are able to continue to use those products to the best of their ability. That's meaning there's 3 key areas that I would like to continue to have us remember throughout this presentation regarding our reach: the Apple Store, Apple Online, and the iTunes, the iBooks, and the App Store. Now, the part I want to focus on that's going to be important for the Apple Watch Edition are our 2 key players that people utilize to purchase these items, such as the Apple Watch Edition. That is Apple Retail. That means the stores and the online are going to be where we see the most importance placed from a marketing strategy component. So when we're looking at Apple Retail today, it should be understood from a store perspective that we have 453 stores internationally in 16 countries, and to put that number to another level, of those 453 stores in Q1 2015, we had 120 million consumers visit one of our stores. Now, looking forward, Apple stores will be opening 21 new locations in China alone. Do you know how amazing that is? We're entering a new country, and not only we're just opening a few stores, we're opening 21 locations within that country. The other key component of Apple Retail, our online. Our online store has done amazing things. In a world where e-commerce is continuing to just grow as the way consumers want to purchase, we are now the #2 online retailer, right behind Amazon. We have surpassed Walmart. We have surpassed Staples, 2 huge retail conglomerates. Taking that into another further number, we have increased our sales by 24% online in 2014. Again, another number that only shows how amazing of a company we are. The third and probably most important component of Apple today is this logo right here. This logo says so much about our brand. The brand that Apple has created, that when you take the products mixed with the reach and add it to the brands that Apple has created, you can understand why we are so amazing. But what's behind that brand is what I want to focus on. It's the customer experience that you see every single day, which is why I believe we are one of the most amazing companies in the world. How does that customer experience be brought through? Through our one-on-one purchasing experience. That one-on-one can be brought into Genius Bar appointments that we all know are extremely important to have that interaction face to face when you're having technology issues. The Apple Care, which is giving you that phone support, that care for your expensive products that we really push and utilize to make it the best experience possible. And another key piece that a lot of companies don't think about, our environmental responsibility. It is important to our customers, it is important to us, and it's important to society tomorrow. That is why Apple has put a huge importance on recycling, making energy efficient products. And on top of that, just celebrating Earth Day. Now, what might be the most important number to focus on right now is that 99%. That right there shows how our customer experience is doing a wonderful job. That right there is a 99% customer satisfaction for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus in the last quarter. 99%. Now, I want to take that 99% for the customer experience with the reach of 453 stores and being the number 2 online retailer, combined with the multiple products we have that have created $8.5 billion in net profits, and lets you understand that we are now the most valuable brand in the world. We are beating Google and Samsung, our 2 main competitors in Apple. Wow. Amazing. Taking that component of Apple today and our numbers and what we've been able to accomplish so far, looking into the future, it is important that we also take into consideration our SWOT analysis. When we're launching a new product line in a new market, it's important to look at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. Diving into our SWOT, I want to start with the opportunities that we have as a company and how do those play to our strengths. Now, looking at the opportunities, our 4 key opportunities are going to be the economic growth. We're an economy that is seeing an upswing. I am looking at this as though our economy is going to continue to grow by at least 1%. We have the opportunity to expand in international reach. We are an international company, but right now we're in 16 countries. We're growing in China. Clearly, there's more countries in the world for us to grow into where there are a consumer that is wanting our product. New market equals new brand loyalty. There is always new markets for us to go into, such as the Apple Watch edition that we are launching and focusing on in the presentation. That will create new brand loyalty. That will hopefully, because people want that watch and need that iPhone, will create brand loyalty and even more consumers that are looking to purchase our smartphone. The last opportunity is the trend of working on the go. People are working off iPads. People are working on laptops. People are working off iPhones. It is important to continue to stay up to date with that trend. Taking those opportunities, let's look at our company's strengths. We have clearly a high consumer satisfaction. Look at that 99% consumer satisfaction of the 6 and 6 Plus. Add that into clearly profitable product releases that I've showed through Apple today, the numbers there. And we have top talent at Apple Inc. We utilize and pride ourselves on having top talent in our company and wanting the best of the best, the brightest of the brightest, and the most unique minds out there. We also are not only needing to expand in international reach, we already have new stores in new countries. Look at the 21 stores we're already opening in China alone. However, with a new product comes risks. That's where it's important to look at our threats and our weaknesses. Starting off with our threats, those 4 main threats could be, I want to focus is the new technology. There's always new technology. There's always someone coming up with something new. We need to make sure we stay relevant and are able to stay up with the times of what's happening around us to make sure we don't fall behind, which Apple has done a great job of so far. Competitor software. Samsung, Google, our main competitors are always looking to come up with new software to beat us. Again, we need to stay relevant. Negative customer experiences. That is never a good thing for any company. And in a day and age where a customer is able to write a review quickly and reach many other consumers, it is important that we minimize the amount of negative reviews by continually creating that great customer experience. Be careful also of a saturated market. The iPhone market, the tablet market, the computer market, those are becoming saturated markets. We need to make sure we enter new markets to continue our growth and continue our relevancy in the technology industry. How could those threats play into our weaknesses? Those 4 main weaknesses are going to be, we have expensive products. Our products certainly are not cheap. However, we try to make up for that expensive product with creating a wonderful customer experience. Supply channels. We still do receive some of the parts for our products from third-party vendors. If that supply channel breaks down, how do we deal with that on the consumer end of still getting our products to our customers? New innovations. We need to, again, stay relevant with dealing with saturated markets and with competitors always looking to come up with new technology. It is important that we expand outside of just updating a Mac, updating an iPhone, updating an iPad. And most importantly, probably the most difficult thing when you're the most valuable company in the world is privacy. People are always wanting to know what we're doing. How do we keep it private? How do we make sure it's not known? How do we make sure it's not stolen? Privacy is key to keeping us key and above other competitors and ahead of other competitors. Now, it's important that we build on the strengths and opportunities that I've spoken about here, and we dive into specific objectives and goals for the Apple Watch Edition. We need to dive into the fun part of this presentation. What are we looking to get out of this release? The main objective I want all of us to focus on, continue to keep in our minds throughout the rest of this presentation, is that we want to continue Apple's successful track record of launching innovative products that change lives and the industry it enters. We want this launch to be no different than any other boom of a product that we have launched that has changed and been innovative. Now, it must be remembered that part of the innovation piece and change aspect of this is that we are entering a new market. We are combining technology with fatness, fashion and fitness, and a timepiece to create this very expensive item called the Apple Watch Edition. Now, that is why the main objective is more qualitative than quantitative. The quantitative aspect will come in our main goal, which is for March 2016 for 1% of total Apple Watch sales to be from the Apple Watch Edition. I believe we can make this happen. And 1% is a large number because you have to remember that the Apple Watch Edition goes from $10,000 to $17,000 for retail price. That means that if you were to take the entry-level Apple Sport Watch, you would sell almost 100 of the Apple Sport Watch to equal that of a few Apple Watch Editions. Nuts. Now, to take more of a qualitative breakdown, I want to show you the numbers behind where we can get to a net profit for that 1% goal. If we start by taking 700 million iPhones that are currently out there that are necessary for a person to purchase the Apple Watch, and take that by, we want 5% of those 7 million to purchase the Apple Watch, we're looking at a number of 35 million Apple Watches sold in the first year. Now, we want to break that down even further into Apple Watch editions. So take that 35 million, by that 1% that we want to purchase the Apple Watch edition, that is our goal. We will be selling 350,000 units of the Apple Watch edition. Now, for the part we really care about, the numbers, the profit, the revenue. We will take that 350,000 editions by the average price of the watch edition of $13,500, and we are looking at a revenue of $4,725,000,000. Now, to give us even a better idea, let's take that $4,725,000,000 by a 5% actual profit that Apple usually sees when taking their revenue percentage or revenue amount and combining it with what is necessary from the regard of expenses. You know, you're seeing it from distribution to infrastructure to employees to marketing. So taking that 5% of actual profit into account, at year one, March 2016, the Apple Watch edition will bring in a net profit of $236,250,000. That number right there to me is a better scenario. It's not good, it's not best, it's better. I think it's feasible and it's something we can do. Now, how are we going to get to that number? That's great, we have objectives, that's great, we have goals. But what's the marketing strategy behind reaching those key objectives and goals? Well, that image right there can make you purchase the Apple Watch edition. However, there is going to be a niche market for the Apple Watch edition. This is where it's important we dive into the target market so we can put our marketing towards the correct consumer. That consumer overarchingly will be that affluent 1%. Those are the people in this world that are making at least 6 figures, that have the extra spending money, that do not look at a $10,000 purchase as something they need to plan for a year in advance. Breaking down that affluent 1% even more, because it's still a large market, is we want consumers that are focused on being and are technology proficient. They are the iPhone owner. They are finding the technology to be a daily part of their life. Again, even though this is a timepiece, it still has technology in it. So we need them to find the importance of technology to want to purchase the Apple Watch edition over an item like a Rolex. A second key component to this target market is they care about and have a luxurious lifestyle. This means they enjoy expensive items. $10,000 on a watch is not crazy. They are well traveled. This type of consumer is one that has the extra spending money, that usually is traveling to different places, that enjoys and has the ability to have the fun time in life type of extracurricular activities. A third component is having an outgoing personality. These type of people are two-part. Appearance matters, and they have an active lifestyle. They care what they look like. They want to show off that Apple Watch edition. The type of consumer that will purchase the Apple Watch edition won't be hiding it. They want to show that they just purchased this very expensive, almost hard to come by item. They are unique. They are not like the rest. And they also must have an active lifestyle because, again, this still has the features and benefits for an active lifestyle, for someone who is on the go, who likes to calculate their calories or wants to be able to do more than just tell time on a watch. Now, this is great, but I want to be able, as I am a visual person, I want to be able to put this in a person, a customer persona aspect for you. That is going to be the James and Samanthas of this world. When we're looking at James, James is going to be the type of man who is 33 years old. He's in business development. So he's working in, again, an atmosphere where appearance will matter. He's on the go. He's a people person. He's interacting. He's married but with no children and lives in a hot technology city such as San Francisco, where kind of having the hot new technology item would be important. Then we have Samantha. Samantha is your 48-year-old working in public relations. Again, appearance matters. Having that high-paying job is important. She's single and again travels back and forth between high important cities such as Singapore and New York City. What I want to focus on with is that age is not a factor. Gender is not a factor. Outside of the last slide of our main target market with the customer personas, it's important that with starting the marketing strategy of the Apple Watch Edition, we're focusing on high volume, high standard of living cities like the San Franciscos, the New Yorks, the Singapores, the Parises, the Londons. And we're focusing on people that could be married, could be single, but do not have children. Because if you do have children, you would be more likely to want to spend that $10,000, that $15,000, $17 on something for your children. Now that we understand who our target market is going to be, who will be the James, the Samanthas coming into the Apple retail stores to purchase the Apple Watch Edition, it's important to look at the 4 P's behind how we get the James and the Samanthas in our stores. That includes product, place, price, and promotion. The 4 P's that are extremely important to a marketing strategy. To start off, we're going to make sure that you continue to focus on the word edition. Edition has the meaning of luxurious, that you are almost affluent. You have a particular type of lifestyle that makes you unique, special. That's a keyword, keywords I want you to remember throughout these next 4 P's. The first edition portion is going to be the product. This is clearly beautifully made. However, how it gets to an edition level is focusing on that you can have this in 18 karat yellow gold or 18 karat rose gold. You then have the ability to make it your own by purchasing this Apple Watch Edition in 3 different type of bands. You have the sport band, the classic buckle, and the modern buckle. The modern buckle being the one that is seen in this photo. The modern buckle also being the most expensive of the 3 bands. You also then have the opportunity to get this in a 38 millimeter face and a 42 millimeter face. Again, for men, for women, for all different types of people. You are, at the time of purchase, have 8 different models you can pick from to make this edition your own, special, unique, different. But what takes the actual product to the next level is this sapphire crystal display. The sapphire display is just like what is on the iPhone 6. It is the most durable. It is going to take the ability to make you feel comfortable to not only wear this as a timepiece, but use it in everyday life as a fashion item, as something for fitness. It is taking the screen that you would normally get on an iPhone, that sapphire display, to the next level of crystal, giving it that beautiful finish that would be equal to a Rolex. The next key P is, of course, place. This is going to be vital to the Edition purchase process. Before the rollout, you can learn about this product, you can see it, you can look at pricing on the Apple online. It is going to be important to understanding the features, the benefits, watching videos, seeing why you might want this product. The Apple Store will then become important in the launch and then after. Apple Store is where the customer is going to come in to have that unique experience of purchasing this product. Again, making that Edition experience, that one-on-one experience to the next level, almost like your own personal shopper. The hope is that in those very high volume, high standard of living cities such as Singapore and San Francisco and New York City, there will be dedicated locations for the Apple Watch Edition, almost like standalone stores, that where you would find most people that would be purchasing the Apple Watch Edition would want to go, would expect that Rolex store, David Yurman store, Tiffany store type of experience. Last, that's going to allow us to continue through the maintenance phase with our marketing strategy is the amazing customer experience. This is where great customer reviews, where a 99% satisfaction is going to become key. To have those customers who had a great experience, unlike anything else, write reviews and advocate for Apple Watch Edition to other consumers. Because at the end of the day, the experience is what you want when you come into a store to purchase a $10,000 watch. The next P in the Edition marketing strategy is going to be the price. Now, the price is an interesting one for the Edition, as this is not really the selling point for the Edition, as it is an extremely pricey item. It starts at $10,000 and it goes to $17,000, with bands starting at $49 and going to $449. The sport band is $49 starting. That's the one on the left-hand side. The middle is going to be the classic buckle, and the far right picture is going to be the $449 price point of the modern buckle. Yet, what we need to focus on with the marketing strategy here is the luxury status equated with the price of this item. You are that affluent status when you are purchasing an Edition Apple Watch that is $10,000. You want that status. Appearance matters. Having luxury expensive items matter. That's where the price strategy is going to be regarding the Edition. Last piece is equating the price with a timepiece. This is supposed to be looked at as an heirloom. This is not an item that you use for a year and goes out of date and you can no longer use. This is an item that can be passed down from generation to generation, such as a Rolex can. That's where that $10,000, $17,000 price point, where you're getting the value. This is a timepiece for many years to come. It's not a quick buy. The last of the 4 Ps, that is probably the most important in the pre-launch, and so Q1 and the Q3 components of the Apple Watch Edition marketing strategy, is the promotion. Now, the promotion will be streamlined to focus on premium outlets. What this means is we're looking at premium outlets in the important areas and industries that are out there in fashion, technology, sports, and finance. Again, key features, key ways you can utilize the Apple Watch Edition. When we go into those 4 industries, it's going to be broken down into 3 key components in promotion: print ads, events, and industry leaders. From print ads, this means going in Time, Vogue, Wall Street Journal, Sports Illustrated, where people that are in these industries, that care about these industries, will be reading. Next, within events are fashion weeks, Paris, Milan, New York, and such sporting events where you would see more of this luxurious items promoted, such as Wimbledon, the Masters, sporting events that tend to be focused more on that affluent 1%. Last component is the industry leaders. The industry leaders in the fashion, the technology, the sports, the finance are going to be vital in being the consumer advocates within their areas of expertise. Apple is not known and does not have a social media account specifically. That's where industry leaders are going to be important on utilizing their social media accounts to reach advocates, to reach consumers, to spread that network. Articles, reviews, those are going to be extremely important, especially after the launch. Reviewing the product, great reviews, bringing more consumers into the stores to see, try on, and purchase the Apple Watch Edition. This is a unique market, so the premium outlets in these industries at these specific types of events, golf, tennis, fashion, that is where we need to focus our money for the promotion. Now, taking those 4 Ps along with the target market that we have created, that I have laid out with my team, it is time to now take that and put it into an action plan. How are we going to take these ideas? How are we going to utilize this strategy in a plan for the first year? What this means is from Q1, including the pre-launch, to Q4 being the 1-year marker of the Apple Watch, and Apple Watch Edition specifically being released. I have broken down each one of the quarters by different areas within the company and what they need to focus on. For Q1, it's marketing, research and development, infrastructure, finance, and retail. Again, the focus with Q1 is the pre-launch and the launch. From a marketing perspective, this is utilizing the promotion aspect of the marketing strategy. From research and development, this is looking at, again, the demographics and the strategy of how best to implement the Apple Watch Edition to get the most reach and consumer advocacy. And then from a finance perspective, this is where we're looking at goals on a monthly basis that we can set up to look at what our profits are, so that at the 1-year mark, we have a better idea and we are not brought by surprise. Also, retail is a key component in the sequence of Q1, because for that customer experience to be amazing, the Apple Watch has to have its retail employees ready to talk about it, ready to give that experience, and that is what's going to take the Apple Watch Edition consumers that are maybe interested into purchasers. The sequence 2 will include the April 10th pre-order and the April 24th official launch. Again, breaking down by the different areas within the company. I will certainly let you read this just like I did on Q1, but key areas to look at and focus on is the continual promotion. Now that it's been launched, now that we've hyped it up and talked about it and we have the pre-orders, want to get people in the door and actually now purchasing it. We've built it up, now we need to make those pre-orders and that build up into profits. We also need to then focus on the customer experience here. This is where we need to start utilizing, looking at customer surveys. How is the experience in the Apple Store for these Apple Watch Edition consumers? What can we change to make it better? This is going to be key for quarters to come. All right, next is Q3. Q3 is going to be where holiday is. This is going to be a large push, hopefully in sales, revenue, and ultimately profit. Again, breaking it down in the marketing, research and development, infrastructure, finance, retail, and customer experience. From a marketing perspective, this is key, where I want to focus that we are looking to push the holiday season. Top gift ideas. The Apple Watch Edition could definitely be utilized as a gift. This would be for that type of consumer that has the money, that's in that little 1%, that might not purchase that for themselves, but their wife might purchase it for them, their girlfriend might purchase it for them, their husband might purchase it for them, because it's that holiday gift. You can justify it at the holiday season. From an infrastructure perspective, it is extremely important that maybe we create pop-up stores for in those high volume cities for where people might be doing the holiday shopping and where they might be purchasing for their family members for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever the holiday might be. I also think it's very important to focus that for research and development and finance, this is where we're going to start looking at year 2. We need to plan many months in advance. This is where we need to start looking at, is there any more locations we need to be looking at opening for year 2, because the Apple Watch Edition is doing well in certain demographics that maybe we weren't expecting in year 1. Also, this is where we need to start to evaluate the profits for how are we going to end up the year? Is there anything we can do to really push and let our retail stores know what they need to push to try to make our goals? Again, communication is key. Lastly is sequence 4. This is the year 1 marker. In here, this is all about each area summarizing what we've been doing to report our annual revenue, to evaluate the strategies so we can move forward to continue to make changes, realign, and move again upwards and increase profit in year 2. This is also going to be where we want to look at a maintenance phase of the Apple Watch Edition purchase. We've gone through launch, we've gone through holiday. We're now looking to be at the maintenance stage where we can evaluate and feel as though we've gone through the highs and the lows, and now we're at a level playing field until kind of those spikes of probably holiday reach. There's not going to be other huge milestones in year 2, year 3 with the Apple Watch Edition outside of that year 1 launch that occurs in April that is abnormal, unlike other years. So again, sequence 4 is combining, evaluating, analyzing, summarizing for our shareholders. Now, to break down those Q1, 2, 3, 4 numbers in more of a visual financial look, here's a graph that has been put together that is being able to look at the value access as 1 meaning low expenses, low sales at that part of the year, and 4 meaning high expenses and high sales at that time of the year. What I want you to look at is green is revenue, blue is expenses. Q1 March is that pre-release, that Q1 sequence. Q1 March the next year is that year 1 marker, that Q4, when we're looking at those Q4 numbers. So taking that into consideration, you can see that our expenses at the beginning are going to be extremely high. We're pushing that promotion. We're pushing getting those industry leaders out there advocating for our product. This is where the marketing strategy is going to be huge, because Apple is known to create that build for the product. However, also, unlike other products, the Apple company has consistently been known to have early adapters. So that's why the revenue will ramp up quickly also in that beginning kind of Q1, Q2 marker from pre-orders to the actual launch. Because we have known, as you can see from the beginning of the presentation, had very successful launches where we come out booming with profits. And I don't think this will be any different, especially for those loyal Apple consumers and those those kind of first adapters. Then you'll see, as we talked about in that kind of beginning marker, we're looking at kind of the Q2, Q3, July, September timeframe, meaning it's going to be a dive. It's after the launch, it's before holiday. We're not looking for a lot of changes to be occurring because the newness has worn off. It's kind of going to be even keel from expense level. And then for the Q4, we're going to be ramping up. We are going to be increasing promotion and our marketing strategy and pushing the product and everything behind the Apple Watch Edition, what makes it great for holiday as a gift. And lastly, we're going to be looking at then the 1 year marker, the end of Q4, as our maintenance phase, like I spoke about. This is where we're hoping expenses will become even keel again. We're past holiday, and we're now going to kind of go to a maintenance level for the Apple Watch Edition. Nothing huge outside of holiday. Again, this is like the Rolex. This is like the David Yurman. Outside of kind of major holidays that are maybe a day here and there, you're not seeing a push of product like this. It is for that buyer that purchases it and keeps it long term. So this is where we're going to continue to see a maintenance. This is where it's going to be important in this time frame, again, to focus on how do we make the customer experience better? Do we open more locations? Do we change our marketing strategy from what we're focusing on, from the pricing, from the product, from the promotion, from the place aspect of the Apple Watch Edition? That's going to be key. The last thing at this marker is our hope is that we have reached our main objective and goal. That's what we want for that March 2016 timeframe. What does that mean again? The main objective, continue Apple's successful track record of launching innovative products that change lives in the industry it enters, and the main goal of 1% of Apple Watch sales to be from the Apple Watch Edition. If we can do that, I know that we will continue to make this innovative and change-worthy product launch just as amazing as what we have been able to do as a company in the past. So, if there's anything I can say as a final word, please remember, we will continue to break barriers with this launch. My team is focused on that. My team is ready for that, and we will implement this Apple Watch Edition marketing strategy to the best of our ability, just like every other launch has. Thank you for your time. Have a great rest of your day.